Hi, I'm Brittany, and welcome to Proverbs Study. Today we'll be studying Proverbs. I'm going to go back to 18 and study 19 today because they are related. In the next video, I'll finish out the book of Proverbs. So Proverbs 2:18 and 19 says in the King James and then in the Passion, it says, "For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life." In the Passion translation, Proverbs 2:18 says, "You'll find her house on the road to hell, and all the men who go through her doors will never come back to the place they were. They will find nothing but desolation and despair." This honestly reminds me of testimonies that I've heard of people coming out of ways of darkness that were very, very deep darkness. And these paths that they took, they went into somebody's house, they were drugged, and then their life was never the same. They were given things that were wicked. They were given access to things that were wicked. And because they were drugged, they agreed to do those things. And it took years of deliverance to come out of that experience. And Proverbs is admonishing us in these two verses and in the verses above, starting at verse 12, it's telling us about these types of people and about an experience that they will have if they choose to follow these evil paths. And some of you listening to this may think that this option is far from you. But the reality is that you never know what that experience could be, because you do not know when people invite you into doing something that's evil, it's becoming more wicked out there. People are not telling you outright that it's wicked. They're making it look very good, very enticing. And the indicator will be that it arouses your flesh. It makes it so attractive that it's undeniable that you would say yes to it. But Proverbs here in these verses are telling you that not only does her house lead to death and her paths unto the dead, but no one that goes into her house returns again, and they do not take hold of the paths of life. And so for Proverbs 2, it sounds like it's saying the same thing, but I believe that there is a function of death and then there's actual death. And so the function of death in this case would be spiritual death, mental death, emotional death, death of your soul, your mind, will, and emotions. So it limits you or prevents you from accessing your normal capabilities that would cause you to say no to this. So basically, it tells you that once you go into the house, it's almost too late, because you're going to say yes to everything. And eventually, though, that yes is going to kill you, but then it's going to make you actually physically die. And that's what I believe it's talking about in verse 19. None that go unto her return again, or all the men that go through her doors will never come back to the place that they were. They will find nothing but desolation and despair. And now, when you go down these paths, right, the hope is that Jesus is the answer for everything, and it's never too late to cry out to him. So if you find yourself in a place that you've gone into these people's or this person's realm, you've gone into their place of death, and you don't know until you get there, call on the name of Jesus, and he will come and save you. Literally, he will send his angels and give them charge over you to keep you in all of your ways. And he will deliver you from the hands of the enemy. next year I would love to do Psalms in the same way, because Psalms tell you all of these promises. It's a little bit more, they're songs, so they're, it's a little bit more encouraging. But I just want to admonish you that these warnings that are in the book of Proverbs are so helpful, and they are evidence of God's mercy, right? He tells us these warnings to show us mercy and to deliver us from the hands of the enemy. The enemy is behind every person that does evil and that wants to take advantage of people and wants to do people harm. But God is the Redeemer. Jesus, through his blood, redeemed everyone from every sin that they will ever commit, have committed, or will commit. And so we can always call on the name of Jesus, and that's the hope. I hope this blessed you today. Have a wonderful day.